do's and don'ts and rules and regulations, and that loses then that spirit and that essence of fun and love and developing that relationship between the two people. So I think it needs to start from people feeling good about themselves and understanding who they are and what their role needs to be. And a woman needs to be receptive to the husband's romance. So romance within a relationship is really important, but it needs to be done in a genuine way. It can't be done in a way where it's just about buying someone something or about giving them things or money and gifts, and all of that doesn't necessarily mean romance, although it sometimes can be nice. But it has to be done in an all-round genuine way where people feel that they are loved and in a good, strong, healthy relationship. And I think time changes as well. So certainly when you've been married for a number of years, you can sometimes become a bit too relaxed with each other. And things like taking care of yourself and things like, and this can be for men and women, it's not just about women, things like, making an effort, making sure you're dressed properly in the home and not always just in your comfortable pajamas or your home clothes, but actually sometimes making an effort. And often we see in the teachings, it often mentions about how women need to prepare themselves for when the man comes home, and that is there, and those kind of guidelines and teachings are there. And if you take that on its own in isolation, it can sometimes feel very artificial and can actually seem like an expectation on a woman that's actually unfair. It can seem as if it's all about the man and what he sees and what he benefits from. And of course, in the teachings, I just don't believe that that is the case. If you take that as a single judgment, as a single guideline or teaching, then of course it can seem artificial and not something that people will really benefit from. But if you see it in a way that's as part of a whole marriage, and if you also refer that back to men as well, that men also have to make an effort for their wives and that they have to make an effort for each other. That can either mean physically, that can mean emotionally, that can mean that you need to be there for one another. Now, I might be talking about a marriage that's absolutely unrecognisable from what your own marriage is like and what you're going through. And I need to be able to help you to understand what marriage can be like, but also to deal with it when things are maybe not going as well as they should. And this is where the mutual respect and understanding has to come in. The men and women need to feel respected and loved and need to feel that their own needs are being met. And I don't mean needs always in terms of sexual needs. It can be just in emotional, in other ways as well. And men and women have different needs, and each person has their own personality, their own needs, and that will be coming from their own upbringing, their own background. Maybe they've had issues in their childhood that have not been dealt with properly, and when they come into a marriage, those things, if they're not addressed and not spoken about, they can sometimes cause problems within a marriage. And I think that we need to, as Muslims, we need to encourage open discussions amongst husband and wife. Don't shy away from topics, always